Welcome to the tutorial of Trados Terminology Management. To access the Terminology Management feature, first go to the Trados page, sign in, and you can go to the bottom of the account page and click on the Language Cloud option, and you will be directed to this page. In the dashboard, you can see all the projects that is under your account, although these are not my projects. So, and if you go to the terminology tab, you can see all the term bases shared with me, the templates, which are quite well defined. So if we refresh the page, we should be able to extend the status feature, where we can see the status are quite well rounded. And we can also extend this one. So the forbidden feature will allow Trados to report, to raise a warning if the linguist uses a incorrect translation of the term. So this is very useful. This is like automatic QE checker embedded in the term base. So we cannot really change it here, but we can change it later in the creation phase. So in order to create a new term base, we click on plus new term base in the term bases tab, and we will give it a name. We can define these fields, but I will just go with the root location. Next, we will use a term-based template, but we can also create one from scratch or load existing definitions from multi-term file. And next, we will choose the English file, the language fields. So the glossary that I've prepared is actually in English, Chinese, and Japanese. And I've also prepared a demo text in English, which we will use in Trados. So I will select English, Japanese, and Chinese. I'll click Next. Here we can add new fields on the right. For example, we will add source, we'll add text. The type will be text, and I will, here this little icon means that this field is not assigned to any one level. So if we choose the language level, add field, and we can configure it to be mandatory, and click the yes icon, and we can see that the field is added to the language level. However, we cannot drag around the levels to give it a better look, so this will be a useful feature to add. Here we can actually customize the pick list of the fields. For example, in subject, we want like a equal. Well, we can do that. Status, if we do not want anything, we can change that. And in summary, we can see all the structures that we have defined and see if there's anything we want to change. If not, we can save this as a reusable template. Term-based template, I will define it as my go-to template. Now, I cannot actually create a term base because I do not have the sufficient entitlements. So, but this is essentially the creation phase. So if the term base was created, I can actually see it in the term base tab. But since we do not have that right, I will just choose an existing one. And hope that I do not mess up someone else's work. Right, so there's no term base here, we can either add a new entry or we can import. I will click off strict import and I will use browse. I'll do it this and I will import it. Here we can choose what to import. So since this term base does not have the Japanese language level, this will not be found, meaning all the Japanese terms will not be imported into the term base. So we do want the Chinese language level, we want the status, we want the definition, or we don't have a definition. But it's okay because it is not a strict import, it will not restrict us from creating this one. Click on next. Here is where we can customize the synonym feature. Since in the glossary I use this dash as a way to signify synonym, I will use dash here and I will change to the other dash. Finish. And you can see that we have successfully imported terms. And yes, these are synonyms. I can add a field, I can add some notes. I can also add the status, not sure. At the language level, I can add the definitions, the Chinese definitions here, if I want to. I can also add the term status here. So we can also like export, we can choose the format, which is pretty useful. You can export it as an XML format. Here in the advanced options, we can also define the separators, which is quite useful. In last export, we can see the format we last exporting if we want to use that format. We can also like copy full entry, which I haven't explored but could be interesting. Entry now saved. Duplicate terms will be created in term bases. Interesting. So we can copy it. So in the search, if we hover over it, we can see the explanation, which is quite useful. So fuzzy search, it is interesting that if you type here, there will be automatically be the normal search. You have to configure it to be fuzzy search to allow the system to look for similar terms. Example, if we use add, that'll be this normal search. Yeah, you cannot actually tell the difference because this is a small term base, but in a larger one, we will find the switching between these three modes quite useful. Last but not least, you can actually, this is the demo text, you can actually import the term base here. So yeah, it is not responding because cancel it. Actually import it here in the cloud-based terminology, and we'll find the one we have just been configuring, which is the this one, Xiao's. Okay, this one. And we can like configure that, but we will skip that and I will hit OK. And hopefully it will do that. But yeah, I think if I do here, yeah, I don't think for some reason, yeah, So it is popping up. See if I like so evidence. I can also like add new term here. It asks me to sign in. Interesting. The parallel desktop is not very useful, not very helpful here. No, I don't want to show password. So if I log in, I should be able to add the term, and this will be synced to the cloud term base. We just, yeah, here's our term base. Let's see if we can add new term. Yes, evidence, add term. So that would be, yeah, not helping. So if we go back to the cloud term, would be evidence. Yes, it is successfully loaded here. So that would be the basics of Trados terminology management. I would say this is quite useful when you are using Trados as your main CAD tool. However, I would want more flexibility with the structures of term base, and I would also like to know more about the cloud account or the entitlements that can allow me to use this feature. So that's about it. Thank you for watching.